Hello, my name is Pat Craven, and I created the Freedom Programme. Right, what's the history? I was a probation officer between 1986 and 2002. During that time, I worked with a lot of very violent men and men who attacked and raped and, in fact, murdered women because I was a parole officer. In 1996, I went to work on the perpetrator programme with Merseyside Probation Service. And for 2 years, I sat amongst men who'd attacked women and used violence against them, usually women that they're having a relationship with. And I listened to what these men said. I really listened. And I began to understand how widespread this problem was. These guys weren't deviants, they weren't just offenders, they were actually normal. This hatred of women that motivated them is absolutely universal, and it has been around for thousands of years. So I was learning this by listening to them. I also realized that in my work, in the course of my work as a probation officer, I had colluded with every violent man I'd come across. I believed them when they said they were being wound up by their victims, or they were stressed, or they had alcohol, or they were PSD or ADHD, all the nonsense they come out with. And of course, other people give them these so-called syndrome excuses as well, because they're trying to understand why they do what they do as well. So where was I? Oh, yes. I also realized that my fellow probation officers, social services, police, lawyers, most people who came across these kind of men had no idea what motivated them. So I decided that I would needed to get this information to as many professionals as I could so that they'd understand what I was understanding. I also realized that I needed to get the information to the women who were living with these characters, because if a woman is in an abusive relationship, for example, if I am, I believe it's a confusing mess and it's all my fault. And I've no idea that the abuse is structured and it's choreographed. So obviously, I became possessed with the idea and the intention to get this information to as many people as possible. So in 1998, I wrote the first Freedom Programme for women, and I ran it in 1999. It was a copy of the men's programme, basically. I ran it for the women who were on probation, all the ones I could get to, and then I expanded it by working with social services to provide a creche. So that was in 2002, I left the probation service and became a full-time trainer to train other people to facilitate the women's programme or the men's. I continued to work with perpetrators because after I left the probation service, a judge asked me to write a programme for men, and I did do, and have been working with men ever since. So over the years, we hired venues, we brought people in from other organisations, Sure Start, social services, and we trained them in various venues across the UK. In 2020, when lockdown came, we started to realise we could use Zoom to provide the training and the programmes for women, and particularly the programmes for women were very successful on Zoom because many women resisted the idea of going to a face-to-face programme. They didn't want to meet their neighbours or their social workers or their colleagues, and perhaps they might have been social workers themselves or health visitors, and they could now choose Zoom programs. For example, if one was being run from Dubai or Australia, then they could quite happily sign up and feel confident that they wouldn't meet anyone they knew. It's been very successful, and we are continuing to do the training and the programs via Zoom. So if you're thinking of joining us, please visit my website, www.freedomprogram.co.uk. Click on the search section You can either put Zoom in the search engine search box. You could click on all to see all the programs that are currently being run. And then you can choose one yourself. Just if you're, for example, if you're going to join a Zoom program, just email all the providers and say, I want to join, and then just join the first one that responds to you. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'd like to wish you all good luck, whether you are a woman looking for the program, a man wishing to join the program to stop being abusive, or someone who wants to learn how to run the Freedom Program. So goodbye, and hopefully we'll see you soon.